Mongol Empire, the biggest and the most expansive empire in the history, began to find its way into the world. Beginning in Central Asia and lasted throughout the 14th and 13th century. The empire extended in modern-day Mongolia, China, parts of Burma, Romania, Pakistan, Siberia, Ukraine, Belarus, Anatolia, Georgia, Armenia, Persia, Iraq, Central Asia, and much of Russia. Furthermore, many additional countries became tributary states of the Mongol Empire. Through the Mongol Empire, the nomadic Mongols and the Trakic tribes of historical Mongol were unified under the leadership of Genghis Khan, the proclaimed ruler of all Mongols in 1206.
The rapid growth of the empire was under his rule, and then his descendants who were responsible for invasions in every direction. The vast empire connected the east with the west through Pax Mongolica, or Mongol peace, which allowed trade, technologies, commodities, and ideologies to be sent to and exchanged across Eurasia. Mongol invasions, along with their vast conquests, developed over the next century until 1300, and by this time the empire had overgrown over much of Asia and Eastern Europe. To this day, the Mongol raids and invasion are referred to as some of the horrendous and deadliest in Europe and Asia, according to historians. The Mongols are known to spread panic ahead of them and displace populations on a bizarre scale. There are many impacts that this empire had on the world and its history, specifically the Pax Mongolica during the 13th and 14th centuries. The Mongol rulers were able to keep peace and stability in many regions they controlled, as they did not force their subjects to integrate into cultures or religions that was not of their own. Everyone was allowed to live their way of life. With that being said, they still, however, forced a certain legal code called the Yasa, Great Law. This is a way to reduce fights at the local level and demanded respect from the subjects. This law also ensured that Nas to be able to create an army in short periods of time, as it gave them access to the sons and daughters of the local leaders. There was also a constant presence of troops across the empire. This established an unspoken rule, where people followed Yasa, and therefore stability was maintained for people who traveled along these routes. Amongst other things, the Mongol Empire was responsible for the development of the Silk Road, allowing commodities such as silk, pepper, cinnamon, precious stones, linen, and leather goods to travel between Europe, the steppe, India, and China. Ideas also traveled along the trade route, including major discoveries and innovations in mathematics, astronomy, papermaking, and banking systems from various parts of the world. Famous explorers such as Marco Polo also enjoyed the freedom and stability the Pax Mongolica provided, and were able to bring back valuable information about the East and the Mongol Empire to Europe.
Tatar raids and Mongol raids against Russian states continued well into the later 1200s. Elsewhere, the Mongol territorial gains in China persisted into the 14th century under the Yuan dynasty, while those in Persia persisted into the 15th century under the Timur dynasty. In India, the Mongol scheme survived into the 19th century as the Mongol Empire. However, the Battle of Angelou in 1260 was a turning point. It was the first time a Mongol advance had ever been beaten back in direct combat on the battlefield, and it marked the beginning of the fragmentation of the empire due to the wars over succession. The grandchildren of Genghis Khan disputed whether the royal line should follow from his son, an initial heir, or one of his other sons. After long rivalries and civil war, Kublai Khan took power into 1271 when he established a Yuan dynasty, but civil war ensued again, and he stalled unsuccessfully to regain control of the followers of Genghis Khan. By the time of Kublai's death, in 1294, the Mongol Empire had fractured into 4 separate empires. The weakness allowed the Han Chinese Ming dynasty to take control in 1368, while Russian princes also slowly developed independence over the 14th and 15th century, and the Mongol Empire was finally dissolved.
The Yuan's origins. Genghis Khan ruled from 1206 up until 1227. Genghis Khan and his sons set the foundation for the Yuan dynasty by defeating the Western Xia and conquering Central Asia, Mongolia, and the Hexi Corridor. This gave them a base of manpower, horses, technology, and experience to finish the conquest of the fierce Jin army, and then to go on and conquer the Dali Empire and the Song Empire. Trade on the Silk Road trade routes through the Hexi Corridor enriched the Mongol rules and gave them power. Their control of this land passage allowed their troops to quickly move east or west as conflict arose.
The Mongols had ruled territories including today's North China for decades. It was not until 1271 that Kublai Khan officially proclaimed the dynasty in traditional Chinese style. His realm was, by this point, isolated from the Khanates, and he controlled most of present-day China and its surrounding areas, including modern-day Mongolia and Korea.
It was the first foreign dynasty to rule all of China and lasted until 1368, after which its Genghis rulers returned to their Mongolian homeland and continued to rule the northern Yuan dynasty. Some of the Mongolian emperors of the Yuan mastered the Chinese language, while others used only their native language, Mongolian. The Yuan dynasty is considered both a successor to the Mongol Empire and an imperial Chinese dynasty. It was a khanate ruled by the successor Mongke Khan after the Mandate of Heaven, following the Song dynasty and preceding the Ming dynasty. The dynasty was established by Kublai Khan, yet he replaced his grandfather Genghis Khan on the imperial records as the official founder of the dynasty as Taizu.
In the proclamation of the dynastic name, Kublai announced the name of the new dynasty as Great Yuan, and claimed the succession of former Chinese dynasties from the 3 sovereigns and 5 emperors to the Tang dynasty. In addition to Emperor of China, Kublai Khan also claimed the title of Great Khan, supreme over the other successors, Khanates, the Chagatai, the Golden Horde, and the Ilkhanate. As such, the Yuan was also sometimes referred to as the Empire of the Great Khan. However, while the Western Khans at times recognized the claim of supremacy by the Yuan emperors, their subservience was nominal, and each continued his own separate development.
Kublai and his successors also recruited and employed Confucian scholars and Tibetan Buddhist monks as advisors, a policy that led to many innovative ideas as the construction of new temples and monasteries. The Mongol Khans also funded advances in medicine and astronomy throughout their domains, and their extension of the Grand Canal in the direction of Beijing, the construction of a sizable network of roads and postal stations throughout their lands. This promoted developments in science and engineering. Perhaps most importantly, the Mongol Empire inextricably linked Europe and Asia and ushered in an era of frequent and extended contacts between East and the West. Proclaimed ruler of all Mongols in